Hey there, everybody. Professor Cloud here with our next episode of Professor Builds to Satisfactory. We started our steel efficiency project, mostly to provide a good set of automation for heavy modular frames. That's the primary function, but it's also to produce all of the standard stuff that we need: steel pipes, steel beams, as well as encased industrial beams. That'll be what this particular facility is for. The next one will then be the computer facility, is what I'm actually going to call it. I don't want to call it a copper facility because it's a big combination of iron and copper, making all kinds of different computerized pieces. So that'll be the next one that we'll be doing from an efficiency perspective. In the meantime, we are continuing to move forward towards production of the remaining piece of the milestone, the turbo motors, and we're looking to do some other things. The one thing is as soon as we get done this current steel efficiency, we're going to have to add some more power. I've already added a bunch, but I want to add some more. We can go back to where the crystal oscillators are, add in a bunch of coal there. I definitely want to do that, but then I also want to add in a few more oil generators as well. And then maybe we can start doing some exploration over near the crystal oscillators, because as I said earlier in previous episodes, there are some oil fields over there too. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump back in and get started. Okay, we're back at the hub. I did, between episodes, go and grab a bunch of aluminum casings to keep remote control units, radio control units, God, I keep doing that, up and running. So we need, actually let's do, all right, so we need 200 turbo motors. Therefore, we're going to need 400 radio control units. We're going to need 800 motors. Those are being produced up top. I also went and grabbed some more stators while I was there. I will have to go grab some cooling systems. We do not have enough crystal oscillators to make the 400 that we're going to need, but at least we're getting to a point. What I'm probably going to do is, after we're done with today's efficiency cleanup, I will probably put in another manufacturer over here or over here so that we can run what comes out of the radio control units into the turbo motor production. Because the one thing I don't want to do is take up space that could eventually be used for the steel plant. Anyway, all right, let's go ahead and get back to it. We'll let those radio control units continue to produce. Okay, so we now have all of the basic parts. And then these are producing reinforced plates. That's right. This was a temporary thing to use up what's in here as well as what's in here. And then iron plates, iron rods, and then these are all screws. This should be, okay, this is iron. Okay. Interesting. All right, before, it really doesn't matter at this point. At this point, I can't do anything more on this floor, so we're going to have to go up, which we started to do at the very end of the last episode. So let's go ahead and get that rolling. Somehow I missed my jump. I don't know how I did that. think that's... Nope. Oh no, I've still got two full more rows. Holy crap. Alright, well, let's keep going then. Alright. There is our second floor. Or, actually, I guess it would be considered our third floor. I'm not going to worry about the walls at the moment, because I do have my walls over on this side. And I still have work to do. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and clean up this, because I remember I needed to... That's right, I needed to redo all of this first, because we don't have the basics working for us for anything. Okay, let's get rid of you and you. All right, I'm gonna put a couple of storage units out here for temporary use. Okay. Because one of the things that I know I need to do... Okay, so this was the starting of the new floor. So let's get rid of all of this. That I can leave because it's sitting outside where the wall would be. That is not. That's for the... Alright, well, let's do one thing at a time. Nope. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of this. We've got one at each corner. Would I like to have another one? Yes, I would, but I don't need it. And this one I need to move forward one. Alright, let's go ahead and do that real quick while I'm thinking about it. I guess it's gonna have to be like that. He just spawned here. What the hell? Dude, you need to get out. Yeah, dude, you need to get out. Okay, I need to move these. This is gonna suck, but... Oh, steel pipes. Huh. Now I have all these extra steel pipes that I'm actually gonna end up moving anyway. don't know how I ended up with different sized floors. I really wish I understood what my thinking was when that happened. Which is, I mean, just another reason for me to do this cleanup. Alright, so let's get rid of that floor. Okay, so that's now done. Alright, did he leave? Where'd he go? Okay. We've now got full flooring. We now need to put in the smelters again. Sorry, not smelters, foundries. And we need 4 of those, and then I'll redo all of the corresponding belts. And then the one thing that I'm going to do is we're going to run the basic production down this side, and I want to bring concrete in from the other vein to run the encased industrial beams here. So what we'll end up doing is I'll run steel ingots to steel beams to encased industrial beams. That's going to be kind of the way that I think of it. The question I have is, can I put another row of floor to give me space to do that? That's going to be the big question. Okay, one problem at a time, though. Let me move this. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Alright, I'm going to go get rid of this excess steel pipe. By the way, one of the things I did do in between episodes is I added in another awesome sink. So we've now got this one here that's running miscellaneous, and then this one that's running the quick wire. Once all the quick wire is gone, I'll probably just go ahead and get rid of this. And I still have no freaking coupons, which is funny now. We're so far into the fix-it adventure that it's taking a lot. Oh. Shouldn't there be one for steel pipes? Okay. Alright, so now I could bring the floor down, or wall down. What I want to do, though, is I want to put... Actually, let me go ahead and get rid of this floor. And let me bring a front wall down. Well, no. The reason I didn't want to do it right there is because I want to put a door here. Whoa. Oh. Oh, crap. Huh. Actually, that might end up working. I'll have to put a ramp or maybe stairs. Hey! Cool, that's my first set of stairs I've ever done. Alright, now let's see. I want to see if I can put a floor. Yeah, okay, good. In between the pillars. Oh, I can do one more. No, that's good. That's freaking perfect. Right into... Yeah, that's beautiful. That is a beautiful thing. Okay, let's get all of this done. Yeah, and then I want to see if I can do another row of floor. Am I going to have space? That's going to be the question. Alright, well, let's put our first smelter in to find out. I keep saying felt smelter. It's a foundry. Okay, so we need to go this way. Alright, let's try that, and let's see what happens. What is the required input for steel? 45 per each, so that's mark 1. Alright, this is coal. That one I wasn't worried about. I wonder if I can do this. There we go. That way it just... Look, I understand that I didn't need to do that. I just wanted it... I just want this to look clean. I just want it to look clean. That's all. Alright, so let's put in another foundry. Okay, again, I'm not worried. About the coal. That's going to need to be closer. Yeah, that's going to need to be a lot closer. I don't know that that's going to work. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Alright, let's see what happens if I just do it straight. It'll go, but... Alright, this might not be able to be as clean, but if I put a stackable... No. Well, hold on. I got it. I got it. There we go. Alright, that's not clean. But this is clean. Okay. One of the things I'm going to do here real quickly is get rid of these two. And we're going to put in 2 new ones. They're Mark IIs. Okay. Alright. Foundry number 2. Or number 3, excuse me. Alright, again, this one should be fine. Yeah. Alright, we're going to do the stackable again. I don't think they're going to allow it. Oh, yep, they are. Okay. Why do they keep... I swear to God, I think they randomly show up on your screen in a random direction. Okay. Alright, so this is all the basic. This is all the ingots. So let's make sure to set these right. Oh. And that one should already be set. Okay, so this is all correct. We've already got a power spot coming in there. I would just need to put a power pole somewhere to run it to all 4 of these. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and do that, because right now the only thing that's keeping power from running to the building is the fact that I'm not running power to the building. Let's put a Mark 1. I guess it really doesn't matter. Which one it comes in from. Oh, no, that needs to be a Mark II. Alright, so if we run from you... Oh, you do have power running in, though, because that's how the lights are on. I just don't have power to... Okay. Well, then let me run it to the boundaries. Okay, so we've got power to... Well, we just need to run from the input power to the pole to turn all this on. Okay, so that's ingots. Now, we want ingots to encase industrial beams down here. So, we're going to want a constructor here. Alright, can't put it there. Yeah, for some reason they didn't want to center the output on the foundries. Don't know why. Okay, they're producing 45 per minute. This needs to be steel beams. Which, of course, needs 60 per minute. Okay, 133%. All right, so that produces steel beams. I think I can get this closer. Constructor. I don't know that I can get it that close. Oh, I can. Okay. There we go. Oop. I was wondering... Okay. I actually don't need to use the slider. I can actually just set the clock speed. I didn't realize I could do that. Alright, so steel ingots into steel beams into... And then this is going to need to be an assembler, I think. And we want encased industrial beams. Yep. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, this is where I want to have some fun with this, is I want to take steel ingots into here, and then I want to bring concrete directly from the outside. Which means I need to change this wall into this one or this one. I think it's going to need to be this one. Then the question is whether or not I can get... Yeah, see, that's the problem. They only put the holes... I'm going to have to use a 2-hole wall. Yeah, so we bring concrete from over there directly into here, into that port. Perfect. Well, maybe not perfect, but... Then what we would do is I would probably put a storage... Take that storage unit and move it right here to run the encased industrial beams into. Ooh. I need more lighting. Which is fine, because I'm going to need to run another power into here anyway. Another power wall outlet. Probably there and there. Okay. Alright, good stuff. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and put in the lighting. Of course, I don't remember. I can never remember where the lights are. Because it's not in power. Is it in the logistics? It's not in logistics. There it is. Organization. Okay. Okay. Alright, there's light on that side. Okay. Well, you know what? Can't cover this one yet because I've got a ladder sitting here that I need to use. Okay, so we've got these two. Now, these are then going to go into constructors for steel beams and steel pipes that'll then go directly into, eventually, I want to have dimensional depots for, well, there's actually no reason why I can't go ahead and do that now, to be completely honest. But, all right, let's get the concrete over to here. Figure out what the best way is to do that without the, here's the kicker though. I do not want to mess with the coal truck. So I got to figure out how to do it without screwing with the coal truck. Alright, so we've got 3 feeding into one storage unit that then is feeding into the dimensional depot. So I think what I'm going to do is switch you and have this one feed directly in. And it's producing 15 per minute, which is probably not enough. Well, let's go ahead and... No. Let me go find out what it is that I need. $36 per minute. Why such a real weird number? Alright, this is producing 15. So I'm going to need to reduce this down. To 83. Alright, so then that needs 30 per minute in concrete and 15 per minute in steel beam. 30 per minute. Can I double the production? Of the one single constructor. What is this producing? Oh God, yes. I'm going to have to change out this belt. There we go. Now, let's put one of the nice little... Where did it go? Oh, that's right, logistics, sorry. Okay. Perfect. That's not perfect, but it works. And that gets us the encased industrial beams. And then, as I said, what I can do... Wrong way. And I don't want to block the door. Okay, there we go. So that took care of encased industrial beams. Now the question is, what do I do with the generic production? Do I do 2 steel pipes, 1 steel beam, 2 steel beam, 1 steel pipe? I'm just not sure. All right, let's do this. Let's take a look at each one and their uses. Okay, so steel beam is for versatile frameworks. We haven't used versatile frameworks since phase 3. We didn't use them at all in phase 4. We already know about encased industrial beams. And then plutonium fuel rods, which we haven't done any nuclear power stuff yet. I'll be honest with you all, and please let me know in the comments if you think I'm wrong about this. I'm actually trying to avoid it. Because of the same, it's going to cause the same problems that I'm having with alumina. There's going to be this runoff. The runoff isn't good for the planet, first of all. And by the way, that's not my reason. This is a game. But having to deal with the runoff. And I can almost guarantee you that unlike with oil, I'm not going to be able to set it up to be handled in an even manner. It's going to be more like alumina than it is oil. I love the gases. The gases, you don't ever have to worry about excess. But with the liquids, you absolutely do. Or the fluids. So really, there isn't that much that steel beam gets run into. We may end up wanting 2 sets of encased industrial beams. But I'm not even sure that they get used a ton. Heavy modular frames and uranium fuel rods. Again, back to nuclear power. So really the heavy modular frames is the only other reason for encased industrial beams. The one thing that's interesting is they don't put logistics. Yeah, so conveyor Mark IVs are also encased industrial beams. Now, we're not using a lot of those. Matter of fact, the coal coming down from the waterfall and the bauxite coming down from on high are the only 2 spots that we're using Mark IV anything. And that's pure encased industrial beams. What are Mark Vs? Aluminum. Ugh. I don't like that. At some point, I do need to go over to the other aluminum location and not fix it, but get it a little bit more even. All right, let me do this first. Actually, hold on. We never did look at steel pipes. I think steel pipes get used more. Okay, so steel pipes get used in stators, which right now, though, are being produced over at the computer facility. They get used for nobelisks. At some point, I'm going to need to get some more of those. The gas mask I already have. There's an alternate for steel for modular frames. The SAM fluctuators, which I don't know if I'm going to need any more of. The jetpack I already have. The heavy modular frame. And the rifle, which I already have. Yeah, so there's not really a lot. The other one is, I think it's Mark II pipes. Yeah, well, okay, that's the Mark II pump. No, that's copper sheeting and plastic. And then the Mark II pump is heavy modular frames, which also... What's the valve used for? Limits pipelines flow rates? Oh, son of a bitch. I can put those on alumina. Oh my god, I can finally fix my alumina problem. Maybe. I'm going to have to think through the math on that one. Yeah, I'm going to have to think through the math on that one. All right. For right now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put down 2 constructors, 1 for each, and we're going to leave the last one alone. We're going to just leave it turned off. All right, so constructor, again, what is the randomness of this? No, I don't want that. For some reason, the alignment horizontally doesn't hold the further away you get. All right, so I'm pretty sure it's right there. And there. Okay. Oh. Huh. That's interesting. Okay. All right. So steel beams, steel pipe. Let's make sure this is producing 45. We can bump it to take the perfect amount. So that's now going to produce 30. This takes 60. Which means I'm going to need to bump this one. Oops, too far. Yeah, there we go. All right, and then this is producing steel beams at 15. Okay. I'm gonna leave this the way that it is. I may end up swapping this. I may end up making... Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it. Never mind. I'm going to go ahead and do this. We're going to do this and the recipe. I'm going to put steel pipes here. And I'm going to make this steel beams. I'm then going to take you, and I'm going to make you 133. The reason why I'm doing this is because I have a sneaking suspicion, based on the fact that this is only producing 50, or 15, sorry, that I'm going to need a second steel beam at some point. I might be wrong about that, but I have this sneaking suspicion. Alright, so let's go ahead and put in a massive storage unit. Wait, why is this... Oh god, I don't have any steel pipes. I'm like, why can I not produce this thing? No, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Yeah, so that's the problem that I have with using the codex. The codex does not take into account buildings for usage. Actually, hold on, that's not lined up. All right. Okay. Nope, that was the wrong one. Oh, for God's sakes. Alright, I need to have at least one. Okay, I think we're good. Now, I don't know exactly what we're going to do as far as getting this up. And it's actually going to have to probably go up 2 levels in order to get to wherever it is we produce the heavy modular frames. And then this is the concrete. Yeah, I got to figure out... I don't know what I'm going to do with all that concrete. Let's see how many radio control units we have. We've got 229. And what are we out of? Nothing. It's still be producing. So, oh, we're out of computers. We're out of computers. Yeah, I'm going to have to go get some more computers. Yep, out of computers. We've still got another 100 crystal oscillators and some aluminum casings. I don't know how many that is, but... yeah, we probably need another 100 crystal oscillators. We probably need some more aluminum casings, too. I'll do that in between episodes. But what I can do is start setting up the production for turbo motors. Alright, let me go ahead and finish this. Alright. So if I do 1, oh, nope, 1, 2, 6, 7. I am doing this so that we can put in some windows. What do I want? I use reinforced windows over there. Okay. Okay. All right, let's see. Organization. I can't. I'm gonna have to put it lower. I can't reach it. Oh, so bad. This helmet. Which one is this? Shit. This is steel pipes. Oh crap. I'll put it over here. Okay. And I already know what this one is. This one's kind of an aberration because of the assembler. All right, so we've got the basics now. The only question is do I end up putting in dimensional depots for these? I don't know. All right, let's go back up top. let me put in some foundation, some architecture. Actually, you know what? Let's just go ahead and use the big boy. Okay, good. No, that's good. I like it. And then let's do the same thing here. Perfect. Now this is a little close to the wall. Well, this one's gonna go. This needs to go away anyway. Let's see how we're doing. Eesh. And it's not moving very fast. Wait, what does this take in? 60 and 30? Which means this could be doubled. And then this would just need to be a Mark II. Okay. I don't have a way to get up, do I? Oh, and I actually didn't finish the floor. Huh. Oh, I was wondering what that coal was being sent to, but I forgot there was that truck station that's sending over the Caterian ingots that can be used for the fix-it trigons. Okay, so there's that. I have not normally been putting walls on the back, but I think here I will because of how much I could potentially. I don't know. I'm never going to be back there. That's the thing. Wow. Those constructors are close. I didn't realize they were going to be that close to the wall. I'm actually going to remove the wall. Because of that. Because the way that they put these walls on, they don't put them on the outside of the floor. They actually do it basically halfway out and halfway into the floor and then take it down. You can actually see right there. The wall is actually half in and half out of the flooring. It's interesting the way that they've done that. Anyway, plus I'm not going to be able to put walls over here anyway because of the cliff face. Alright, so let's figure out now. We are going to need... The screws are down this end. The iron plates are down this end. The iron rods are down this end. So it's 2 iron rods, 2 iron plates, and then 4 screws. And we need the iron plates and screws to make reinforced iron plates. So let's start with 2 assemblers in the middle. And I suppose the question mark is going to be... Alright, let me do it this... I got to do this first. So, reinforced iron plate. Okay. So... What did I end up doing? we up them all to 60. Yep. Okay, so all 4 of these are 60s, which means we can double the production of the reinforced iron plates, assuming that we can get enough iron plates so we would need 60 iron plates per minute to be able to handle that. Or we do 4 actually we could do the same thing with 4 assemblers. I wouldn't necessarily need to use my power shards for that. Okay, how are our iron plates? They're producing at 20. Oh, son of a bitch. So we're only getting a total of 40. Well, crapola. Alright, then what I'm going to need to do... I'm going to actually have to convert this. It's either that or I figure out a way to increase the iron ingot production to increase the iron plate production. Because I would have to go up a full 150, which means I'd have to produce probably 45 per minute in ingots. Which would require more than 30 iron ore, and I've got the iron ore completely strapped down. So, Well, I'm producing way more screws than I need. If I need 60 per minute for each of those 2, and 30 per minute. See, I'm still going to end up with excess. Or 340s will equal 120. Okay, so my iron rods in the back will just suffer. I'll be producing more iron rods in the back than I need. Okay, then yeah, let's do this. I'm going to take out the power shards, making them 40. I'm then going to remove this constructor, and I'm going to change this to iron plates. So now we've got 3 at 20. That'll then feed into 60 per minute, with each assembler requiring 30. At the end of the day, I don't think that there's an easy way to do the efficiency the way that, yeah. Yeah, so that's what we'll do. Now, I just got to figure out how to make this work from floor to floor. And then eventually, how to do it so that this feeds into the heavy modular frame manufacturer, and I'm going to need to bring encased industrial beams up 2 floors. So, actually... Okay, I think I know how to do the second thing. And to do the second thing, I'm going to have to move the 2 assemblers. There's going to be a lot of empty space up here, so you're just going to have to live with it until I can figure out what other things that we can build up here. There's going to end up being extra space. So, what we now need is to feed all of the screws into one storage unit. Obviously, that's going to be via merger. and bring that up to split into these two assemblers. We're then going to need to do the same thing for the steel plates. So let's see what the best way is for us to do that. Alright, I'm going to have to get rid of you and put you someplace else. It was time for you to go. Oop, missed. Man, I really thought we were going to be able to get steel efficiency done today, but it does not look like it. Alright, so 1, 2, 3 steel beams, or steel plates. Because this will all go away. Yeah, eventually this will all go away. So the best thing is to put, oops, wrong one, a merger think here. And do that. And then we'll put that there. Okay, so this will then be the screws, and then we can take the screws up, I don't know, through this hole here maybe? Something like that. I gotta remember to be careful. So something like that. And then steel plates. We can do something once all this is out of the way. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I had an idea. I want to see if I can do it here instead. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Okay. So that then screws up. At the moment, I can't do anything because this is all in the way. And actually, you know what? That's fine. I need to end this episode so that it's not as long as the last one. I apologize for that. An hour and 20 minutes. I kept going. I just kept going. And actually, what I think I'm going to do is take the two assemblers and actually have them face this way. Give room. Because it'll be easier for me to flow the screws in, and then we can take the reinforced plates around, put them into storage, and then from storage directly into a manufacturer that can be placed. Oh, I don't have the modular frames for it, but oh shoot. Where am I? Oh, crap. I may have missed something. Uh-oh. They go into modular frames via iron rods. Okay. Or via steel pipe. There's another reason for using steel pipe, actually. But I think we're producing enough iron rods down below, combined with the reinforced iron plates, to produce the modular frames. Okay, so we're going to need... Alright, so this is reinforced iron plates. These will then merge into... We'll then put two assemblers over here. Something like this and this, which I think is too close to the edge, to produce modular frames. Actually, no, it's not. And then the modular frames flow into a manufacturer. Yeah, so we're going to have to get this set up before I can actually build the manufacturer, because I don't have any modular frames. But that's kind of the thought process. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode. I'm going to go do some quick running to get parts for the radio control units primarily in between the episodes, and we'll continue with our... I don't know if this is just a steel production building or if it is a production building for heavy modular frames. But we're going to need a lot of heavy modular frames. So I want to make this as clean as possible. And of course, we're going to store things along the way. So while I'm going and gathering more materials, that stuff in the back can go ahead and get working or keep working for us. In the meantime, I hope you've been enjoying the content. As always, if you have been, please make sure to hit that like, subscribe, or comment button. And hopefully I will see you in the next episode. Talk to you soon.